Welcome. Not going to hold you very long today. I'm going to be in and out because I don't think this is going to take us very long to quickly go through the non apology from one Stephen A. Smith. So, if you are new to the channel, I want to say welcome. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday. We are on the road to 1K. So, thank you to all our new subscribers. And if you are new and this is your first time joining us, please like, sub, and share this content with a family member or friend. We are always looking for new members to join our community. If you want to know a little bit more about what we do here at the community, we are about growth and not gossip. Therefore, the only tea that we spill is unity. We are all about uplifting, empowering, and embracing the community. So that means we want our communities to be safer, to be stronger, and to be smarter. So let's quickly get into this non-apology with Mr. Stephen A. Smith. Now, this particular tale with Mr. Smith is a tale of money, power, and morality. Part of the reason why I didn't cover the initial comments on Sean Hannity was because I am not against people having conservative values. Somebody that I love and I would give a kidney for, have had my bone marrow tested for, has conservative values. They espouse conservative beliefs. That is, I am an American. I am for liberty, freedom, and most importantly, which leads us to this topic, justice for all. And so when we have comments made like the one on Hannity by Mr. Smith, which are not uncommon, they're actually far worse things being said on that platform almost every night of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't necessarily cover that because here we are about growth and not gossip, and we don't do debate for debate's sake. But the apology. The apology was problematic for a lot of reasons, and that is what we're going to cover today. So Mr. Smith went over there to the Fox News and was talking about how the increasing support for African Americans by African Americans for President Trump's candidacy is rooted in the fact that he is currently on trial facing 81 counts across 4 jurisdictions. So we just want to stop there. I don't think anybody anywhere, I don't care if you are black, white, purple, green, Kal-El from Planet Krypton, you don't know anybody with counts across 4 jurisdictions, both state and federal. None of us do. That's number one. But more importantly, none of us know people who've got 88 counts across 4 jurisdictions, 2 state, 2 federal, that would be walking free right now. None of us know anybody like that. We are not that privileged. Would be nice, but we're not. So that is what brings us to the non-apology. So this is who I know Stephen A. to genuinely be. Does he have conservative views because he's a rich man who's been in media for a very long time? Probably. But he's also a son and he's a dad. And that's important to keep in mind. So let's go ahead on and roll this beautiful bean footage. And we're going to stop a little bit along the way and talk about some things that he said when he went to explain.
Accountability is where everything needs to begin in this world. It's something I say quite often. I certainly never hesitate to hold folks accountable when mistakes or mishaps occur. So I'm certainly not about to run from it myself. I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media.
First place, we're going to stop. One of the reasons why we are highlighting this particular apology is because this is an instructional moment. Everything that we are doing here is for educational and instructional purposes, entertainment purposes. None of this constitutes professional advice. But if you want someone to take your apology seriously, if you start rolling your eyes and looking all off and being sarcastic in the middle of your apology, I can guarantee you you're not going to get very far. But let's continue.
Media as well, after comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now. from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say, even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump from the black community with all the legal issues he's facing.
Okay, so notice what he said right there. So we're going to pause right there. It says my words were misinterpreted, or they were interpreted as as such. Go back and view the original clip. Go back and view the original clip. And if you see that he is incredibly serious and focused when he's speaking here versus when he was rolling his eyes when he was talking about the community, because he don't care about the rest of us. I can tell you he don't care about me and all 0.5 people that are down here with me. But what he does care about, because he became very serious, is his family and his friends and the people he has to go and sit with. And we're going to talk about why he cares so much about those people, including that picture earlier. He said that. He know his kid got to go to school. He don't want to be out here saying crazy stuff that's going to get that little girl harassed. Have people harassing the older ones on their jobs or whatever. No.
For that, I sincerely apologize. To be clear, my words were misconstrued. I'm stating right here for the record that my words were taken out of context, misrepresenting and depicting me in a way I found every bit as insulting and disrespectful as folks in Black America evidently felt about what they thought I said.
And that's why I'm going to stop you. Don't you ever let anybody, I don't care, black, white, rich, poor, green, gay, straight, don't you ever let anybody apologize to you and tell you that it's your lying ears, not they lying mouth. So no one misconstrued you. You were not misinterpreted. You were flippant. You were glib. You were capricious. And we're going to get to why that is so problematic in a minute, because he's going to say something about why he never should have been so unclear and imprecise in his speech, such that people would construe what he said so poorly as to be highly offended. Now, I'm not saying that all communication is on the speaker, because the hearer plays a role in that communication exchange. But I can tell you this. When someone is being offensive and they are telling you it was misconstrued, it was taken out of context, you didn't hear me good, you need to be very careful with that kind of non-apology.
But I'll own it anyway.
See, he's setting himself up to be the bigger person. See, I'm the person who is magnanimous. That even though you people didn't understand my erudite, my nuanced, my particular opinion on this very complex and academic subject, because you all didn't understand that. Let me go ahead on and apologize and give you this thing, give you this pity, G, because this ain't an apology.
Because please know that I know the buck stops with me. I'm in the communication business. I've been here for 30 years. So regardless of whatever interpretation that accompanies any words coming out of my mouth, the responsibility ultimately lies with me first and foremost before any.
That was my point. Sir, you have been in the communication business for over 30 years. You are not an unclear communicator. You know exactly how to articulate whatever point it is. And more importantly, you pride yourself, sir, on being a statistician, which we're going to see later on. And we're going to check his little facts on that in a minute. Because he also has a habit of coming after my Dallas Cowboys. So as a Texan, this one particularly just rubbed me the wrong way, Mr. Stephen A. Smith. Tell you something about this foolishness. Let him tell it.
What? And you got to be kidding me. I mean,
This here.
these people, you know, oh, the
I've always felt that way. I still do. I always will. Period. Blacks who refuse to support Trump are aware of his history of issues. And we'll never forget how Trump claimed Obama, the nation's first black president, wasn't even qualified to hold office because he was born in Kenya, although Trump recanted the statement during his 20.
What? And you got to be kidding me.
Run that back.
What? What? And you got to be kidding me.
This man done lost his mind. First of all, wherever Bo and Michelle or Hyde Park or Hawaii, leave them people where they at. They did their 8 chills. They done. Y'all harass their kids everywhere they go. Man, leave them people alone. He didn't. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, the 44th president, he didn't have nothing to do with the tomfoolery you got your fat face up there and said on that man's show. No, sir. So leave them people where they at. See, that's another thing people who are piss poor at apologizing will do to you. They'll start bringing in all these other things that don't have nothing to do with why y'all having that conversation. This is a lesson in one of the worst possible ways somebody can apologize to you. They rolling their eyes. They telling you, no, you misheard me. No, you're unaware. Sir, you have lost your ever-loving mind, sir. Do not bring somebody into this conversation that didn't have nothing to do with you. And more important, he didn't. And notice how he said, oh, you know, he did this bad thing. But remember, he said, sorry. He spent half a decade saying that stupid foolishness. He gave one janky little press conference and decided to just ignore every other press question about the topic from that point going forward. Another lesson in what a sorry non-apology looks like. This man is not serious, and we cannot take him seriously with the foolishness that he is trying to bring to us. And I want you to know that that's not okay from anybody in your life. Man, woman, plants, people, pets. If your pet is barking or meowing like this, do not let that slide.
Campaign run for the presidency. Yet Trump's dissenters were not the topic of discussion when I was talking to Hannity. The support he appears to be receiving in the polls was what was being discussed.
Right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Jerry.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Jerry.
I'm sorry. See, Stephen, what did you say, sir?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Jerry.
Yeah, we don't care about this line you fist to feed us. But go ahead, sir.
Polls, count them 5. Emerson, NBC News, Daily Kos, New York Times, and Rasmussen, all big national polls had Trump leading over the last few weeks. Plus, according to 538, recent local polls also put Trump ahead in battleground states. He's up 6 times. As black voters drift to Trump, Biden's allies say they have work to do.
Yeah, I wanted to specifically get to that because the polls are one version of insanity, but this here is even absolutely worse. So let's go specifically to the articles that he cites at the end of this little rant. I'm gonna go ahead on and move it forward.
Axios
Go look at the whole thing.
Big Biden bummer. New York Times Siena poll shows gaps with key demographic groups. Wall Street Journal, Biden loses support among black men. The Hill, Biden losing support among black voters in swing states, survey. Al Jazeera, why are black voters backing Donald Trump in record numbers? And CBS News, black voter support for Trump up from 4% to 23%, poll finds. Why did I say all of that? Because I want to show you I didn't just open my mouth.
People, you know, I'm so sick of these people. You know,
I promise. These posters who are literally most major news outlets are conducting polls so they can report on polls. You don't talk anything about the sample size, what that represents, how these polls are number one, usually land based, landline based. How many black people you know have a landline anymore other than your grandma and your great aunties and some elders in the community, or maybe a few people that have businesses? Nobody has landlines anymore. So the vast majority of these are not being conducted in communities and in places. And again, if you look at the historical patterns, about 15 to 17, 12% somewhere every election. Numbers don't change. They're like really fairly consistent as a matter of fact. But I can tell you what is the problem. And I'm gonna let him go ahead on and finish this out because I gotta go. Because I didn't had enough of people, as the young children say, playing in our face. My family is in the building. I cannot believe it. And I am so grateful. Good morning, good morning, good morning. That's my morning AM. This is how I wake up with beautiful male melanin all up in my space at 4 and 5 in the morning. So good morning to my nightish crew. Morning. I love this guys. Yeah, so let's go ahead on and finish this out. He's only got 4 seconds, 4 16. So I think we got like 20 seconds left, right quick. And then I'm gonna tell you why, even though I'm not happy with the way he did this, why in a lot of ways I still rock with Stephen A. Smith, but we're gonna get to that in a hot second.
I listened, and I've seen a momentum shift, as we all have. Anywhere I appear, no matter my subjectivity relating to what I feel, is still going to be based on facts being presented into the stratosphere.
So I want to thank you to the Jasmine brand. So that was the apology that kind of just like had me in what the people would probably call my fifis. But now let me tell you why I think Stephen A. Smith is dead wrong. And this set proves my point. That man has access to literally, he works for $1 billion company. He works for the mouse. That phone, that laptop, and more importantly, that mic and that earpiece means that he has access to $1 billion worth of information. And yet, he didn't really do his homework as much as he would like to think. Because I don't even have access to $1 billion worth of information, but I do have access to Google. And what I know is Black men shift slightly towards Trump in record numbers, polls show. Most Black men supported Biden, but overall, Democrats have been losing Black male support since 2008. That's from 2016. Here we go. More Black men abandon Democrats to vote Republican, polls show. Black men are increasingly drifting from the Democratic to the Republican Party. That is from 2020. I could do this all day, especially if I decided to pay the New York Times or the Washington Post they little coins. So I can go into the way back machine. There is not an election happening where this doesn't happen. And this is why this actually happens every election cycle for us. Black voting rate topped rate for whites in 2012. That article was written in May of 2013. Black voters showed up at the polls in higher rates than whites in the last year's presidential election, driving the rate of minority participation to historic levels, a new government report shows. While voting and turnout rates from 2012 were known soon after the election, the survey from the data showed the characteristics. So again, when they saw the voting power, they saw the participation rates, it became a full court operation for the last decade to make sure that has never happened again. And like I said, I don't have access to $1 billion worth of information, but I promise he does. So no, I trust that Stephen A. Smith will continue to be in conversation with his cousins and his aunties and his uncles. Because let me tell you something else about Stephen A. Smith. Even this guy, yeah, that's from 1996, if I'm not mistaken. Vice President Dick Cheney. Yeah. So we've been covering these topics for a long time. So yes, Stephen A. Smith has the ability to do better, and I expect better from him because I do believe that he does have, number one, conservative views, which are absolutely fine. I do not criticize him for his conservative views. I criticize him when he is wrongly characterizing what is going on in the community. I will always criticize that. So I got some good news. This is who Stephen A. really is. Thankfully, not that foolishness he told Sean Hannity.
And I drove her back home 3 blocks away. And she was like, what's going on? And I told her I signed this contract. And I said, I can't afford, because you know you're getting paid twice a month. And I said, the mortgage is paid. I said, in your vacation. And I handed her 2 tickets to a trip to Europe. And I said, you ain't got to work no more. Go and enjoy yourself. It's my turn.
So just in case you missed it, this is what he told his mother.
My proudest moment to this day was that I drove straight home. I drove straight from Manhattan to Queens, New York. I walked right in that PAL, and I grabbed her by the arm, and I said, let's go. And I looked at her boss, and I said, my mother's not coming back. And I drove her back home 3 blocks away, and she was like, what's going on? And I told her I signed this contract. And I said, I can't afford, because you know you're getting paid twice a month. And I said, the mortgage is paid. I said, in your vacation. And I handed her 2 tickets to a trip to Europe. And I said, you ain't got to work no more. Go and enjoy yourself. It's my turn.
And that's who Stephen A. Smith really is. Stephen A. Smith is a man who loves his mother, who loves his family. It says Stephen A.'s parents are both from St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He's been very private about his personal life, but opened up on his relationship with his mother in an interview with Drew McGarry of GQ magazine in 2019. The eccentric ESPN analyst's mother told him that he came out of her womb talking. She worked multiple jobs helping the family, including working as a registered nurse at the Queens General Hospital for more than 20 years. So that guy, that kid from Queens, that young man who made it to the top of the game, is able to do better. And I trust that going forward, he will. So thank you for everybody who is stopping by. I appreciate all the support, all the love. You already know. If you are new to this space, I would ask you to go out and check our video out from Sunday, where we talked about our Share with the Sister series, where we talked about reasons why minority business owners struggle to access capital. So if you'd like to know more about that and some of the factors that are influencing our ability to have thriving businesses and economic prosperity in our community, please go through and check that screen out. As always, fair use disclaimer, everything reported here during this stream is for educational and entertainment purposes only. None of it constitutes professional advice. Thank you to everybody who joined us again for our fun little trip over to the wonderful wide world of sports. Y'all know I normally don't dabble in sports. That's not my jam. I'm about growth and not gossip, but that apology was an abomination. It was abysmal, and I trust that Stephen A. will do better, both with his comments, such that he does not have to come before us and apologize again, because clearly he is not very good at it. All right, family, you know what I always say when I get ready to leave you? I hope blessings chase you down. I hope trouble never finds your door. There is power and purpose within you, so I need you to level up. The community needs that. When you get a chance today to be kind, do that. I am actually getting out of here to go visit with a friend who lost his mother, which is why I'm running late for the stream. So when you get a chance to give grace to someone today, by all means, give them grace. There are lots of hurting people out there. Take care, family.